Welcome to the new school year in Year 1 and 2. In one centralised location on the homepage, you will find everything that you require for implementing in Year 1 and 2. Now, it is a very long page. It starts at the top with your downloadable manuals. It continues into the training options, the program options, and most importantly, it also includes training videos and information on screening and tracking. Let's talk about screening and tracking. Week 1 in term 1, you're commencing with a spelling placement test. These are really nice overviews within the teaching sequence manuals that, first of all, you start off with that placement test, that spelling placement test, you mark and you enter onto the tracking sheets before starting to plan to that classroom data. In terms of the placement test, make sure you're following the yellow box. Year 1, you're completing all of stage 1. Year 2, all of stage 1 and stage 2. And this percentage converter is really, really useful for goal setting. The manual includes a template for students to write their spelling into. It's important that each section you convert into percentages and use that percentage converter in the previous slide. However, you only note the phonic gaps for your Tier 2 and Tier 3 students, your delayed students. If students are operating where they should be or higher than where they should be, please do not identify their phonic gaps. Your Tier 1 students, where they should be or higher, why we don't identify their phonic gaps is because they're going to be placed directly onto a teaching sequence outline, which outlines week 1, term 1, teach this, week 2, term 1, teach this. However, if students are Tier 2, a little bit behind, Tier 3 significantly behind their age-matched peers, you have planning documents in that teaching sequence manual to help you identify which lists and which phonic dictation passages you're going to present in those individualised programs that you're going to administer in term 1. Let's talk about the screening process and the tracking sheet process next. So step 1, you mark your spelling placement tests and you enter the scores onto the tracking sheet and you utilise the percentage converter table. Step 2, you analyse the numbers and you highlight yellow, what do you intend to teach? Please do not just highlight the first time students start to dip under 80 or 85%. Keep looking across and across because teacher judgment has to come in. And when you analyse all of those series of numbers, make the call, where are you going to focus your term 1 teaching efforts? Step 3 is students move from being in alphabetical order into targeted teaching groups. Your top students are moved to the bottom of the spreadsheet, your weaker students at the top, and you'll probably find you have 4 or 5 groups initially. Step 4, we need to work those groupings and sometimes widen focus so that you're left with 3 targeted teaching groups. In this particular class, we have an NDIS student that is receiving some EA funding, and then here are our 3 targeted teaching groups. In your teaching sequence manual, it very clearly outlines common problems with the tracking sheets. Common scenario 1 is where numbers are placed on a tracking sheet and teachers say, finished. No, you're not finished. There is no targeted teaching plan. All you've done is enter numbers. Another common scenario is numbers have been entered. Teachers have highlighted yellow what they're going to teach, and then they say, we're finished, and no, you're not, because the students are still in alphabetical order and not in targeted teaching groups. And that's where we've got to pull our top students to the bottom our weaker students at the top. Common scenario 3 is where teachers often say, well, I've got 5 or 6 groups. No, you cannot have 5 or 6 groups. PLD says 3 primary teaching groups. So line up those 5 or 6 groups, and then we need to merge some of those groups together to create the 3 targeted teaching groups. If this is difficult, you need to give it a go first and watch the videos, and then you can reach out to support. The office is not going to complete the process for you. You need to give it a go, watch the videos, follow the instructions, and then we can coach you from that point. Remember, teaching spelling is teaching reading. The two go hand in hand. Also in term 1, we want to establish strong teaching routines. As an overview of your week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will be speech sound mapping, and Thursday and Friday, transference of the phonic concepts from that single word level to a passage level repeated reading, passage level phonic dictation. All sessions should start with a daily review. Now, if you're lucky enough to have an integrated SSP kit, the daily reviews and the digital materials are provided. If you're using starter packs, you're going to have to create your own PowerPoint, revising the last 3 weeks of content. Here's an example of the integrated SSP kit, which provides Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3. The individualised plan teachers will need to map into that daily review. Teachers then have 3 lists, 3 sets of concepts to teach, and that teaching is to the whole class. The process is outlined in your manuals and in your training. Step 1, what is the phonic concept that this group is learning? And then reading the word, sounding it out multiple times. And if there are any tricky words from a vocabulary point of view, explaining those, but teaching 3 words on a Monday, 3 words on a Tuesday, 3 words on a Wednesday. And students uplearn because they're exposed to levels above where they're operating, but they also downlearn and get ongoing revision and consolidation at lower levels. If students have low entry levels or low levels of retention of phonics, we need to do the speech sound mapping repetitively. The blue group, you're learning the word him, ear, ear, him. The purple group, you're learning SH makes the sound sh, shed. The orange group, you're learning AI makes the A sound. Let's sound out the word paint. Paint. In the next part of the lesson, the teacher needs to demonstrate, I'm going to do it. I'm going to demonstrate how to do the speech to print, the speech sounds mapping process. If your words play, p, l, a, say the sounds first, p, l, a. Now we're going to map the letters as we sound, p, l, a. If your words fish, f, sh, f, sh, f, sh. If your words red, d, d, d. I'm going to do it, or we could do it together and the students can write in the air or on whiteboards. They will then progress back to their seats with their allocated list, and they will be doing their allocated task. So the whole class is doing exactly the same task. They've had teaching across the 3 different lists, but then that when they progress back to their desks, they're completing their own assigned list. Phonic dictation is central to the weekly routine. And at a minimum, Thursday and Friday, or you've got the option of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The more you work that repeated reading and that phonic dictation, the stronger the results. So, step 1 is repeated reading. 2 readings of that passage on a nice interactive whiteboard or enlarged into a PowerPoint. First reading is with decoding. I, rush, to the fish, shop. I rush, so it will not be shut. The first reading, every time you reach that target phonic concept, you decode it. The second reading has whole word reading at a level of fluency that matches the students. I rush to the fish shop. I rush so it will not be shut. Pencils down. Now we're going to do phonic dictation. I rush to the fish shop. I rush to the fish shop. I rush to the fish shop. Speak it before you write it. What are you going to write? I rush to the fish shop. Go. And if that's too long, I rush to. What are you going to write, you ones? I rush to. Now write it. At the end of the sentence, check for capital letters, full stops, and then pencils down, and we go into the second sentence. We're going to see how much we can write in 10 minutes before swapping over to the other group. And again, engaging in 2 repeated readings, one with decoding, one with fluency, and 10 minutes of rewriting. It's a beautiful process. So here you've got your repeated reading, passage, and your phonic dictation. Particularly for year 1, in term 1, students can enter with low CVC skills, 0 to 40%. If students enter at 60% or 80%, they just potentially need to read and spell and write hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of CVC words. If they're scoring at 0 to 40%, chances are they have gaps with their pre-CVC skills. You've got a page in your manual with 3 subtests, 3 to 4 minutes of testing. That information can also be integrated with your Term 1 tracking sheets. These students potentially are missing some of their foundation skills. PLD will provide you with programs and options and even another training course. Remember, there's support available through the website, but I sincerely wish you an amazing start to the year with effective teaching and really strong student outcomes. If you found this information useful, don't forget to click the subscribe button and check out our related videos shown here. If you have any questions or feedback, please add them to the comments below and we'll be sure to respond. Otherwise, you can reach us via live chat on our website, pld-literacy.org. Thanks again for viewing.